Good afternoon. It's Tuesday. Hello,
It's
everybody.
Tuesday.
Hello. I hope that you all have had a awesome week. It's been a festive one for us over here. But
What's the
it's
word?
okay. Nevertheless,
What kind of week? Festive.
a festive week. Nevertheless, we are here with smiling faces. Smiling faces. So, hello. I don't know who's on, but if you are, hello,
I'm in the
how are
room.
you?
What's up, Steph? Am I pronouncing your name right? Stephanie? Am I pronouncing it right?
Stephanie.
I want to make sure I pronounce it
I
right.
said Stephanie. I hope I am too, Stephanie.
Okay.
I hope I am
pronounce
too.
it
I don't
right.
want to
Because
mispronounce
I don't like
your
when
name.
people mispronounce my name either. What's up, LaWanda? That's one of my...
Hey,
Well,
LaWanda.
I get over it.
Hey. We're going to share our pages. And
And make sure when you all come on, you please share also.
thank you. We really appreciate that.
LaWanda said, but you here. That's right, LaWanda.
Absolutely.
That's right. We here.
Absolutely.
We blessed to be amongst the living.
Absolutely.
And again, joining you all this Tuesday. We love it.
We're trying to be consistent, y'all.
We've done good,
and y'all
right?
helping us. Y'all helping us, so we really appreciate that.
Because this is not easy.
No.
You know, we see people that try to start up doing this.
Yes,
oh, Stephanie.
Stephanie,
Okay,
yes.
I pronounced it right. Okay.
Of course, I'm Nene.
Okay, Nene. You know, this isn't easy to do, you know, to get off work, because we both get off work kind of late, you know.
Yep.
And then to try, like, once again, we haven't eaten. So once we get out tonight, we're going to get something to eat, right, sweetie?
Y'all already know when I am when I get hangry.
So, y'all, I'm so proud of her. She is hanging in that
Well,
tonight.
I just drunk me a protein shake, so it's holding me for.
Oh, is
right
that what
now.
it is? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
a protein shake. It's
So,
holding me.
but it's not it's not about us, and you know, so we're here to do what it is that we feel like we should be doing. So,
Absolutely.
we're gonna have a good time. Hopefully, we'll say something that is beneficial or meaningful, and put a smile on your face or something. You know.
Thank you, LaWanda.
And, yes.
And thank you too for being on point. We appreciate you.
LaWanda?
You and Dylan.
Oh yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Very consistent. Very
Absolutely.
consistent.
We love you.
So make sure y'all share. So we can go ahead and get started, like we do. Thank y'all for joining. Hey, Miss Sheila.
Hey, Miss
Paul.
Sheila. Hey, Paul. Okay, so check this out. Are y'all ready? Because we're ready. Somebody, please type in the comments. This weekend, what's going on is Linked Couples Brunch. We are excited about this brunch because we know that this brunch is specifically for someone.
Yeah.
Trust me, let me tell y'all,
Woo.
planning events is not for the weak of heart. But nevertheless, the show must go on. So we're going to have a good time.
Yep.
Trust me, this is going to be one for the books. And we are excited.
Yep.
We hope to see lovely faces. We have a lot of new people actually that
That's
has
awesome.
signed up.
Yep.
So Stephanie, I am ready to meet you because
Right.
just by conversing with you, I can tell that you're a whole vibe and I like it.
Yes.
So the dress attire, Stephanie, is comfortable. We want you to dress comfortable because we want you to be able to get your dance on, and we may have a little friendly competition going on, which may involve a little movement. So dress comfortable. Come dress comfortable.
What's up,
yeah.
Cheryl?
So
Yes, very
hey,
comfortable,
Cheryl.
yeah.
Hey, Cheryl. Anyway, so yeah, come dress comfortable, and we're excited and we're ready, and we hope to see you there. Go ahead.
Do we want to speak about whether there is?
Oh, so let's talk about whether there is. About you can tell them because I didn't.
So, like my wife said, this event must be for someone very special.
No heels, Stephanie, unless
No.
you can, some people can maneuver in them real easily.
No, do this. Do what my wife does. Wear your heels, but have your sneakers or flip flops in your bag. There you
Absolutely.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So this event must be special because it has been the most difficult one we've ever had. Right? Would you say so that we've ever planned?
Yeah.
But we're not making excuses. We just telling you like it is. So long story short, we were notified on this past Saturday that the place that we had scheduled to have the event was not available.
Well, something happened. It
Something
was
happened.
unforeseen.
And we'll just leave it at that. So
Yeah.
what's up, Zai? And we was like, what? You know, so we went straight into scramble mode for maybe about 5 or 10 minutes, and then we went into plan B.
Right.
So that's why for you all who had bought a ticket or seen the flyers, you saw a change of address. We'll get into it more later, but for right now, And a lot. I'll just say this: along with the building being taken away, so was the food.
Right, because it was all in
Oh,
one.
and the DJ.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, but things happen.
things happen, but we was able to
Recoup.
go right into Plan B,
Absolutely.
and everything is on and popping. So we're gonna have a ball Saturday. Come ready to eat. Come ready to listen. Come ready to give insight. Your insight.
Absolutely.
Come ready to be competitive and have a good time.
Friendly
and come ready to party.
Exactly.
That's
so
it.
That's
So
it.
this
That's it.
Saturday.
We are looking forward to you guys. So thank you. And it's going to be at the Arise Event Center.
Mm-hmm.
Well, co-working space in Roseville. It's a really nice facility. So we are very pleased with that.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and
we are.
we thank Michelle, who's the owner of Arise.
Yes.
And her husband.
Yes.
You know, they really stepped in, and we really appreciate that.
Because we got on their nerves all day Saturday
And they were out of
Sunday.
town.
And
So-
they was vacationing.
Right, exactly.
But-
But hey, Amanda.
Hey, Amanda.
So they, stepped up to the plate, and we appreciate that.
Yes.
And we also pray for the other
Situation.
situation
Yes.
too as well.
Absolutely.
So that's it. So for those of you who don't know, we are key players. We're all things marriage. We are marriage enthusiasts. All things marriage, relationships, and we just like to love. And we don't claim to know everything, but we know a little something. That's what I
Right.
like to say. So thank you all for joining us tonight.
What's up, Cynthia?
Thank you all for joining us tonight. So tonight we're going to be talking about the warning signs of marriage problems.
Amanda says, I'm late, I see.
Hey, Amanda.
What
It's
are you
all
late
right.
about, Amanda?
It's all right, Amanda. You here. That's all that matters.
Oh, okay.
It's you here. That's all that matters. Hey, Cynthia. So we're talking about the warning signs of marriage problems. And we read an article, and it came from the Very Well Mind article, some of the things that we're going to be citing from tonight. So every relationship, okay, we know that every relationship is going to have its ups and downs. Mm-hmm. Nobody's perfect. If they say they're perfect, they lying.
Right.
I'm sorry. They lying. But you're going to have, if you're married long enough, you're definitely going to have your ups and your downs. Mm-hmm. That's natural. But you have to fight through those things, right? Mm-hmm. You have to fight through those things. And I've been seeing the social media on the Shade Room.
Hey, Miss Maria.
All over a lot of the social media posts. There is so many marriages that are breaking up. Like people are throwing in a towel.
Yes.
Right? Every other day you see that somebody has broke up or their marriage is split or something, right? Mm-hmm. So, you have to really fight for your marriage.
Right.
But, so we're going to talk about some of the warning signs of marriage problems.
Yeah. These are warning signs that lets you know there is a problem in your marriage. So for, oh my God, so many divorces, it's sad.
It is.
So for those of us who have, I think, cars that were from 2013 on up, every now and then, throughout the year, you'll get like a red warning sign in your car that says maintenance is required. I get it. My wife gets it. You get it, right? You get it in your car.
Well, yeah. Excuse you.
I'm just making sure.
My shallow, thank you.
And it's a warning sign to let you know that there's an issue that's about to come up that could be more serious if you don't tend to it. The same thing like with your tire light that comes on. It's letting you know there's an issue here that if you don't give attention to it, it's going to get worse and it's going to, unfortunately, cause some serious problems. The same thing is with marriage and relationships.
The check light, yes.
The check light in your marriage comes on, and if you don't tend to it, you could lose the marriage. The same way you can lose the vehicle, lose the tire, lose the engine, lose the transmission.
Yep.
You can lose the marriage too.
Absolutely.
So we just want to go through some of the warning signs that if you are experiencing, then this is the time to be transparent. You don't have to tell all your business. That's not what we're here for. But if you hear something that sets off an alarm in your home, in your household, tend to it.
Absolutely.
Give attention to it. So we're going to get started.
All right. So the first warning sign is you're always criticizing each other. You're always criticizing each other. That goes both ways.
What's up, Stacey?
I always say, you can express yourself, but you need to check yourself.
Right.
Now, you need to stop and you need to think, okay, what I'm about to say, is this going to be beneficial or is this going to cut the person down? Right. So you have to really think about that. Right. And I know sometimes that's hard in the heat of the moment.
Right.
I had to work on that. But I know that's sometimes hard in the
Yeah.
heat of the moment, but you know, you have to really stop and think. You continually point out the negative,
Right.
right?
Right.
We can find ourselves pointing out the negative all the time instead
Right.
of focusing on the positive.
Right.
You constantly nitpicking,
Right.
right? And especially for a man, that's a no-go, right? And I'm not saying that men don't nitpick, because they do too.
Right.
They really do too.
That's true.
They do. But as for a woman, I know that sometimes we can tend to do it,
Right.
you know, unintentionally.
Right. And
Right.
will there come moments where you may have to criticize your partner? Absolutely. But what we're saying is that shouldn't be every day.
Right.
You shouldn't be pointing out my shortcomings every day. You know, and if you do point them out, you need to use constructive criticism. If you got something
Yep.
negative to say to me every day, that's going to lead me to believe that maybe you got an issue with me that maybe you haven't addressed, or have your feelings for change. If every time I'm in your presence, you got a criticism of me, that's going to get tired. And depending on the type of, if it's a person that has a strong will or a strong personality, they make it deal with it a little better. But if it's a person that has maybe a more fragile personality, you're going to destroy that person.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with constructive criticism.
They're going to start questioning themselves.
They're going to start. It's right.
That's
You're going to
the
weaken them and the role that they play in your marriage or relationship.
Yep.
That's what we're saying. So every day, I shouldn't hear something negative about me from you, and vice versa. I shouldn't say that every day either.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, so not every day. So first sign, you're always criticizing each other. That's number one. That's warning sign number one.
One is sign number one. And you know what? The trigger words are never and always. You never do this. You always do that.
What's up, Carl? That's
So
a
for
good
example, you could say, like, just look at me. I could be like, you so lazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you so lazy. You always have stuff on the floor.
Right.
And now, is that a better way to say that? I'm sure.
Right.
I'm sure it's a better way to say that.
Right.
Then you so lazy. Oh, he is so lazy. He gets
Right.
on my nerves.
Right.
Now, I know we all been guilty probably of saying he gets on my nerves or she gets
What's
on
up,
my
darling?
nerves.
Yep.
Right? So it's a better way to say that. Maybe you could say like, sweetheart, can you please, pick your stuff up off the floor?
Right.
I like to keep the room organized, for us. For us.
Right.
You got to put
Right.
us in there.
Right,
You gotta put
right,
us in
right,
there,
right. Cheryl say it's like a tire and you're going to wear the thread out. That's a perfect example.
Perfect example.
Perfect example.
Perfect example.
Perfect example.
So, yeah. So just watch
Love
your
you
tone,
too, Carl.
watch your words.
Watch your tone,
understand?
watch your delivery.
And I hate to keep going back to my job, but redirection. That's what they teach us in early childhood.
Okay.
Redirection.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know nothing about that. Yeah.
So you just change. You still get them to do what you do, but it's just the
Right.
way that you say it and how you say it, right?
Right. Exactly. Right.
So that's what that is. Okay. Number 2, lack of intimacy. This is a big one. And you know what? When we just did that classes in section with Savala's mother, and talking to people, it's been a lot of, I don't know, it's been a lot of intimacy problems. And
she's trying to find a tactful way to say what.
Well, intimacy is not always about sex.
And that's right.
So
That's
it's
right.
not always about sex.
That's right.
But what I'm saying is I've noticed that it's been a lot of,
Lack of intimacy.
yes, lack of sexual intimacy.
Yeah.
So that's something to work on. But it's different types of intimacy, like holding hands, right? Sending, texts to each other if you can, if your spouse can get signal, nevertheless. Sending texts to each other. What's some other common ways of intimacy? Y'all write it in the chat. What's some other ways of intimacy other than sex? Of course,
we got a list right here. Intimacy doesn't always mean sex, as Keisha just said.
Right.
Holding hands is one.
Exactly.
Writing love notes, or even cooking together.
Right.
Can
Exactly.
be forms of intimacy.
Right, cooking together, because it can get spicy in that kitchen.
Right.
Well, if your spouse like to cook, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
You can put a little whipped cream and some chocolate and a little caramel. But anyway, that's nevertheless.
Pineapples.
Yes, maybe because I'm hungry too, y'all.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm probably talking like that because I'm hungry. But
Amanda said date nights.
yeah, date
Yep.
nights, right? So you got to be creative with them date nights sometimes.
LaWanda said love language, physical touch, my hubby, but I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you know your hubby physical touch, then you touch him. Right?
Touch him.
In some kind of way. Reach out and touch. Okay, somebody's hand. So, you know, are
Carl
you?
says strawberries are great.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Carl.
You tell us a little bit about this,
Carl.
okay? But making your partner feel like, you know,
Wanted.
wanted.
Yeah,
Wanted.
desired.
And
Yeah.
by you.
By you.
By
That's
you.
right. That's right.
Right? By you, because I swear, if you are going through anything, it's like they come out, they can smell it.
When
When
you
I
say
say
they,
they, I mean other men or other women.
That's right. That's
Right?
That's right.
So to keep that down,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You need to, you know, make your partner feel wanted.
That's right. That's excellent.
Right?
Cheryl said partner couples spa day.
Oh, that sound lovely. That sound lovely if your husband is down for it. But
Yeah,
that
I
sound
get my hands and my face done. Is that the same?
It is. I mean, yeah, you can
Okay,
get
I'll
your
do
hands in
that.
your face.
Yeah.
Done. Your
All
hands
right.
in your face. No massage.
No, I'm not. I like giving massages. I'm not all about getting them. LaWanda got long drives, walks, and talks. All forms of intimacy.
And long drives, walks and talks. Well, the long drive might require money, but the walks and talks don't require
That's free.
money.
All you gotta do is step out the door.
Free.
Right.
You have to ask yourself: are you emotionally distant from your partner? Like, do you want to do anything with them?
That's one. Hold on. Don't get.
You
that
understand
yet.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is there no desire?
Yeah.
Do you frown at the sight of your partner? Right? You got to ask your things, all of this stuff.
Wow. Okay, that was good. Want to move on to the next one?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Number 3, you constantly have the same argument.
All the time.
Now, to me,
Beating
that
a dead
means
horse.
beating a
Sorry.
dead horse. That means that there's a listening issue between the two of you. If
Absolutely.
you're having the same argument, somebody is not listening to the other,
Right.
And not just listening, not comprehending what is being said. If you are having the same argument over and over, there also could be an instance where somebody, or if not both of you, are and too stubborn to do the necessary thing to make the changes, so we don't have to have this same argument.
Ouch. Okay, go ahead.
So, so if we're having the same argument, somebody hasn't done what that needs to be. Oh, I'm gonna say both of you haven't done the necessary thing you need to do to eliminate this problem.
Right.
And you're just letting it linger and stay there and hubble. What's up, Sabrina? Your sister. Yeah.
Hey, Brina.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was that? Having the same? Well, I wrote you're going to argue, and that's a fact.
Right.
I mean,
right.
You're going to argue, whether it's a healthy argument or you know what I mean. You're going to argue. You've been with a person so long, y'all going to have an argument or a disagreement.
Right.
But it's how you have that disagreement. It's how you have that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's how you have.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's how you have that disagreement,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, you have to watch yourself even in that. And once again, you got to watch your tone even in that.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So those are some warning signs. Like if you constantly arguing every day, I mean, who wants to come home to that every day?
Or leave to go to work with that.
Right. Every day.
Not every day. It's too much. We didn't get married
too
to just
much.
bicker and fight all the time.
Absolutely.
My wife always, life is short, especially when you're getting older like we are, and
Yes.
and with the way you cannot turn on the news on a daily basis and not hear about death.
Absolutely.
Or
And
get on
somebody's
social
dying all the
media.
time.
Somebody is dying.
Well, we all gonna die. But I'm just
We
saying.
all got to go, but my goodness, I want to enjoy the time that I'm here, and I want to enjoy that time with the person that I have.
Yes.
Find a way to find a negotiable solution.
Yes.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Paul said life is very short.
Life is very short. And we just
Okay.
say that as a cliche, but it's real.
It's real.
And if you look on social media every day, and it's not only the older people, but it's the young
Youngest
people.
too, yeah.
Right? They're getting up out of here. So you got to find out what's important to you.
Home is supposed to be a place of safety and peace. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. Number 4.
You aren't communicating. And this is a big one right here.
Yeah, this is huge.
Silent treatment.
Yes.
Stonewalling.
Yes.
That's you think you're doing something by not speaking to the person that you chose to marry or the person that you chose to be with.
Right.
But you only hurting yourself. That's a reflection of you. That's
Right.
not a reflection of that person. So you need to really look into yourself and say, hey, what's going on with me?
Right.
Really. You know what I mean?
Because there's still, even in silence, there's communication.
Yep. Oh, yes.
Even in
Absolutely.
silence, you are still communicating. But how is it being interpreted to your partner? Your silence could be saying to he or she, you don't care about me. You don't care about the situation. You didn't think that was disrespectful. You don't care about my feelings. Even in silence, there is communication. So we have to be careful with that also.
And the thing is, you might care, right? You might care,
Right.
But you leave that up to the imagination, to the other person.
And that's what I was trying to say. Right.
So the other person over here thinking like, oh God, what I done done now. We always have that. Like I look. If he can be quiet, I'm gonna be quiet. If she can be quiet, I'm gonna be quiet. Right.
Or other people could be speaking for your spouse in your ear, saying what he or she may be thinking.
Yep.
When you all haven't communicated and the communication has shut off.
And who are the other people? And see, that's when you leave the door
That's
open.
when you leave the door open.
That's when you leave the door open too.
Yep.
Who's speaking in your ear?
Who's speaking in your ear?
Right? Your partner says it's best when they say nothing that can be good or bad.
Now, we're not talking about cooling off because you are upset, and when you're upset, you may say something stupid or hurtful. That's different.
Right.
But, and I've been guilty of this, letting it linger too many days. Like, come on.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, I've been guilty too, because I'm the type of person like, well, he ain't gonna say nothing, I'm not gonna say nothing either.
Right.
Okay, right.
We both been guilty of that.
Right, we both.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have this stuff. I like to talk it out. But, you got to know your spouse, right?
That's
so
right.
you do have to give them time. Or you either have
What's
to
up,
bring it
Pam?
up, because some people they're not going to bring it up until you bring it up, right?
Right.
So you have to know your spouse.
Some people are counterpunchers. They can't respond until they've been hit.
That's good.
That's the way some people communicate better. Then you got sluggers. They come out the gate.
Paul says shutting down and silent treatment leaves you uncovered.
Ooh, that's excellent. I like that.
It sure do.
It
leaves you open for things that,
like she was saying earlier. That's right.
They coming. They coming out. They coming in droves.
Right.
They coming out the woodworks. Trust me.
See, like you said earlier, like Paul said, when that covering is removed, then your aroma is out there more. So that's when they can pick up on that smell. They smell it.
Exactly.
They can smell it.
Cheryl said people are dying in their sleep and able to wake up. Not able to wake up saying I'm sorry.
Right, that's
and that's facts right there.
That's super facts.
I know that just happened, so that's facts. I know, yeah.
Yep.
Yes, you are communicating. You just start being silent and don't say nothing.
Right.
The only time you communicate is when you argue. That's the only time that you talk to your spouse is when you argue. Right? Is it that important?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. That's
Right? So you're not speaking for days. You are distant from each other. You act like each other is not there. Walking right past each other in the kitchen. Just like, the other person is not there. You don't talk to each other unless it's about the kids.
Or
the only time that you talk. Or bills.
Or issues.
Or issues
Some
in
type
general.
Of issue, yeah.
Right. Everything that your spouse says irritates you. These are all the warning signs that your marriage.
I don't have that one on my list. My goodness.
Right? Everything your spouse says irritates you.
Wow.
Right? But you need to check yourself and see, are you a good listener when your spouse try to communicate with you?
And are you being irritated by what they say because it's true?
That's good too.
Or are you irritated? Because if that's the case, you're irritated with yourself, actually.
You gotta look inside yourself.
You gotta look in the mirror, like Michael Jackson said. Rest in peace. Silence is a form of nonverbal communication. That's exactly what I said.
Exactly.
Yep. Now, these next ones are. I don't know how you can remain in a healthy marriage or relationship with these next ones we're about to get into. You about to say something?
I don't know. Yeah, I want to finish. Let me finish it because I had wrote down my little points and everything. But I said if you've been married long enough, you know that sometimes you fall into routine or habits. It's easy because you've been married for a long time. And so you talk about certain things. So you continually talk about the children. Listen, guilty. You go out on a date, who you talk about? Either your job or the children.
Yep.
Right? You go anywhere, who you talk about? It's mostly all the time the kids, right?
Right.
So, when it comes to talking about children, or either we'll bring up stuff around the house, because I'm guilty of it. Every time, I don't know if y'all do this. Ladies, y'all tell me. Every time we pull up to the house, I don't do it intentionally, but I'm like, ooh, that tree show need to be cut, or do you see that right there?
Let me answer every time we leave and come back. Yeah. Kids and grandkids.
Kids.
Ooh, no sex for months. Oh my God, that's
Lord.
definitely a sign. Yeah,
Lord,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so just y'all got to talk about more than kids. How about that?
Right, and the grandkids.
Yes,
That's
have a
good.
healthy flow of communication.
That's excellent. That's good.
Because that can leave pinned up stuff on the inside, and then you start resenting. But that's a whole nother topic. But, okay,
That's
ahead.
good. That's
I just
good.
had to get that out.
No, that was excellent. Okay, you don't enjoy spending time together. Now, I don't understand that one. I don't understand that one.
But a long time is good too.
Yeah, but not all the time.
No, not all the time.
If that's what I wanted, I should have stayed single.
No, I'm saying like sometimes you have to,
Woosah.
Yeah, you have to woosah. I mean,
But this
it's okay.
says spending time alone is healthy, even when you are married. However, if
Right,
you
that's
find
what
yourself
I'm saying.
avoiding spending time with your partner or even making up excuses not to be with them, there are likely deeper reasons for you feeling that way.
So avoiding your partner is kind of what it's saying.
Avoiding, spending time with them. Yeah, I just don't get that.
Cheryl said, future plans or dreams, 5 things that you want to do and you want to do, you don't enjoy. I don't know.
Wait a minute. Future plans of
Or
or dreams.
dreams.
Find things that you want to. Oh, I guess that was
Okay.
leading back to the communication part.
Okay,
Yeah.
Carr said, when you do, you don't talk at all. Communication.
Right.
Even not about the kids or projects around the house. Wow.
You just sit
that's
at
what
the
I'm
table.
saying.
Like you
Sound-
go on a date and just
Right.
sit.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
That would be the worst.
But it happens. It's real.
It does happen,
It
yeah.
happens. I mean, it happens.
Now I love spending time with my wife almost to a fault. And what I mean, you know what I mean by that is when I want her to myself, I want her to myself.
Yeah.
I'm way better with that now, but in the initial years of our marriage, that was a huge, and I've said this before, a huge struggle for me. Mainly because I had never dated anyone or been with anyone first who had kids and who had a business and someone who
An extrovert. Just say it.
well, yeah, that too. An extrovert too, but someone who people drew from. That's what I'm really trying to
Okay.
say. So I had to learn to share her, and that was very difficult for me.
Right, outgoing.
Yeah, that was very difficult.
And it
for
was
me.
difficult for me because I'd be like, what's wrong with him?
Right. And it was just that I wanted her to myself, but that's not
Right.
who she is.
That's not who I am.
That's who I am.
Right. You can't box me in. Like, I don't
Right.
like that. I feel like I'm
Right.
suffocating when
Right.
you try to do that to me.
Right.
Right. So we had to learn that about you.
Right.
Right. So that's Keisha.
That's who? That's Keisha?
Yeah, me. That's
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had to learn that about me, and I had to learn that about him too.
Right. So now it's give and take. I know she's just that type of person that she's going to get pulled on. I've gotten used to it, and then I guess she know, and then we get our alone time, especially since we've been empty nesters. That helped out a lot.
Right.
Because I get a ton of alone time with her now, tons of it. So when it's time for outside of that, I'm good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I had to work on that, y'all.
Okay. So where were we at? You don't enjoy spending time together?
That was the last one.
So I said you would rather spend time. This is my point that I wrote. You would rather spend time with your friends or someone else, and you have a better time with them than you do your spouse. Right? So that's when you know your marriage is in trouble. When you're having better times with your friends or someone else, whoever that is.
Right.
Right? Instead of spending time with your spouse. And you
Right.
make yourself so busy that you neglect your marriage. That could be busy with your job. That could be busy with your kids.
Church.
That could be busy with church. Busy with
Business.
whatever. Business.
So we got a question.
Right? So the question is, what do you do when you don't get that alone time?
I don't know if you're asking me, but first of all, the fact that, like we just said, that we learned that about each other, that she learned that about me, and I learned that about her.
Right.
So I guess you could say she became intentional about giving me that alone time, and I had to become intentional about allowing her to be loved by everybody. For lack of a better way of putting it, we had to be intentional about that. So when I do get the alone time, I can't sit around and complain about what I didn't get. Just enjoy the time that I have with her, right?
Right.
That we have alone. You need to let whoever that is know that I need, time with you to myself. where it's just me and you.
But let them know, like, tell them. Don't stop talking and get an attitude.
Right.
I mean, that's in our earlier days or whatever, but not now. But
Right.
don't stop, because he, I guess Savalas just gave up. It's like, okay, she just going, you know what I mean.
Give up sounds worse.
Well, I don't know.
Adjusted. That
Maybe
sounds
bad
better.
choice of words.
Yeah.
He adjusted.
I adjusted.
Like my sister said, had a family like us.
Right, and-
He
right.
adjusted.
Right.
He adjusted. So,
Right.
Is it
Cheryl
a
Hudson-
two-way street? It's a two-way street, he said.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
Cheryl said calendar and a day and a month would be. Oh yeah, mark it on the calendar. Make
Be
it a
intentional.
Day. Absolutely, be intentional.
Be intentional.
Be intentional. Right. Just
But-
tell them, communicate. Can't read minds.
Like
Absolutely.
right. Like Keisha said, you gotta let the person know that I need this, I want this. Now,
Right.
me, if somebody said that to me, I would take it as a compliment. I would find it flattering. You know, if you came to me and be like, "Look, I just want time with me and you." You know, everybody else put them to the side. I would find that flattering. That's me.
That is flattering, but I mean, you know, like Cheryl said, put a day on a calendar or two or whatever. I mean, I love spending time with you, but you know, if you got a lot of other things going on as well, you know, balance that time out.
Right, and then
But
it's
always put your spouse first.
right. It's
That's-
also like it's based off your spouse's personality. Also,
Yes.
she's an extrovert.
Yes.
So as much as she loves me, she needs more of me.
Absolutely. And you're an introvert.
And I'm an introvert, so I don't need as much as she needs. But she needs the girls' dates and the girls' trips. And
Absolutely.
all of that. I don't need all of that.
Absolutely. Yes.
So
About to
you
go
gotta.
on one now.
It's based off your personality.
It's
too.
based
So that's
off
good.
your personality.
Your person-
It's your personality. So I said, if you don't enjoy spending time together with your spouse, sometimes one of the spouses can feel lonely in the marriage. And you don't want that, because
Or
then they start
neglected.
questioning. Right? Yes, you feel lonely or neglected. And that's one of the worst feelings in the world, to feel like, okay, I'm married, I got this other person, but I feel alone.
Wow.
I feel lonely,
That's crazy.
right? Because the other person never want to do anything with you. Like, you know, marriage is about what I'm trying to say. Marriage is about compromising,
Exactly.
right? So sometimes I do stuff that he don't, you know, I don't want to do, but I know he like it.
Right.
Right. When I went to the Dallas Cowboy game, I mean,
Right. She's not a sports person.
Right.
But she knew how much that meant to me.
absolutely.
So we've said this before.
Right. You give and take, LaWanda. That's absolutely right. Yes. Compromising for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. So, you know, yeah, I knew he loved football.
The Dallas
I
Cowboys
didn't care
to be
about
specific.
football.
She was
I
hyped.
was hyped for that.
She was hyped for the tailgate.
Yes, sir.
She was
Yes,
hyped
sir.
when we was going into the arena. They
Yes.
had it's even if you hate
I'm
the
taking
Cowboys.
pictures with people.
I
that
mean,
don't
she
even know.
was hyped.
I'm talking to everybody. He's standing in line.
I'm standing
Of
in line
course.
just waiting,
Yeah,
chilling,
just like that.
just chilling. She running around. I mean, she is having a ball. We get inside AT&T Stadium. They introducing the players. It's smoke. She's still hyped. Everybody waving towels. We both hyped. The
Right.
game starts and she goes silent.
I go silent.
And I get hyped.
I go silent.
Because she's not a sports person.
Nope.
But she did that for me.
But what's his name was not playing. Dak
Prescott.
Yeah, I like that.
I think she likes Dak
he
Prescott.
He won't playing. So
That was
I
her.
Like, I'm done.
All I cared about is that we won. But our point is she did that for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was
I did that for
important.
you.
That was all for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he does stuff for me too that he absolutely hates. So, well, don't like. How about that? I don't like. So we, you know, you got to compromise. You got to work together. So what's the number?
Carl said that. Who? All right, number 6. Now, this goes without saying. You are keeping secrets or lying to your spouse.
Yep.
Now, when we say that and you hear that, people automatically, I would think, assume that's another person or something. But you can be lying about other things and keeping secrets about other things. Say, oh my God, I can't say that. I can't say that what I was trying to say.
But when you start lying, that
Yeah.
you know, you make your spouse question everything.
That's true. Yeah.
Right? Even if you're not lying, but you don't lie. So it's like the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah. Say if you went out and bought
Right.
a car and you didn't, and you hid it for a while until you felt like your spouse was ready to know that. I had to use something like that. Yeah. It ain't always about lying about being with somebody else. You can lie about money. You can lie about family, the kids. You know, any lie. You know that you're keeping or secrets that you're keeping from your spouse can be a sign that there's some problems in your marriage.
Because why do you feel like you have to lie?
Right.
Right?
Right.
Right, so
Right. Which leads us into the next one that kind of go hand to hand. That's a lack of trust.
and you need trust.
You don't have a successful marriage or relationship without trust. Period.
So you got to find ways to try to build that trust
Right.
if you have broken the trust.
Right.
And it is doable.
Right.
It's doable, right?
Right.
But both of you have to work on that. Not just one person. They can't feel like they're not.
Right.
Oh, I do that all the time. I got to slip it to him because he don't handle things well. So I guess she's talking about the hiding and the sneak.
Well, maybe what he's not handling well is that it was done without his knowledge, or that it was done sneakily, or in a way where he wasn't involved. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's the issue, not as opposed to him handling it. The it is he wasn't involved in it, or you didn't tell me first before you did it. That may be the it, that he doesn't handle.
But you got to know your spouse too. But I'm not saying
You actually you are.
I'm not saying hide it. You just got to know the time to present before you do it. The time to present it to them, right?
Right.
Before you do it, I said before you do it.
You need to do that
Right.
because that may be the real issue.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Derek said hiding messages on
phone calls. Ooh,
Okay.
yeah, that's a serious one.
That is a serious one. Them DMs and stuff will get you in trouble.
Now, what
every
Paul
time.
said is different. We
Paul said, but when you try to plan a surprise for them, but they come in with all these questions, bruh.
But see, you gonna end up winning if you planning a surprise for her and she thinking something else. First of all, she gonna feel guilty when she find out you was doing something for her.
Right.
The sex is gonna be amazing, and then maybe in the future maybe that's something she needs to work on. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's something that's ended. Let her know that okay, I need to work on trust issues. I don't know what her previous relationships were. Maybe she's still working through some trust issues. So yeah, you gonna come out on top, brother.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
But some people don't like surprises, though.
That's true.
You gotta think about that. Some things may not feel. Some may not feel there is safety in truth.
Ooh.
That is true.
Ooh.
You said a mouthful right there.
Ooh, that's heavy.
That is true. You said a mouthful.
But what do you do though? If you're
supposed to be able to talk to your spouse, but really, Mr. Wallace had this conversation the other day. Like you supposed to be able to come to your spouse and be, because that's what people say, right? That's what they say.
People say.
You should talk to me about everything. But really, let's think realistically. Can you go to your spouse with everything?
Right.
You're supposed to be able to go to your spouse with everything.
Right. Right.
Right? But can you go to your spouse with everything?
Right. And that could go to, like Keisha said, knowing your spouse. Can they handle what it is that you're coming to them with?
Yep.
Is it a problem or something that you can handle on your own? Is it something that you can work out without involving them in it? I don't know. You got to know your spouse.
You would love to go to your spouse,
Right.
Right. Talk to your spouse about anything. You would love to do that.
There could be some people may not do that because there could be some shame involved in it. And then if you go back to where we started, if you are always criticizing them, Lord knows they're not coming to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you criticize them on normal stuff, if they come to you with a problem or issue they have, they know they're going to catch it.
Or they might say something that you don't like. And then that's
Right.
going to set off a whole nother,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody's going to get anything, nothing is going to be resolved.
Right. Right.
Right. So
Woo.
that's when you have to take a step away and, so.
Yeah.
Powerful question for sure. I'm the one who does not like surprises. That's
Dylan.
Dylan. Could it be some past hurt? That's what Cheryl said.
Absolutely.
Yep. Everything. I feel like everything is either from your childhood or, the years leading up. All your life experiences. You bring all of that, you even though you're healed, you still remember some of those experiences, right?
Right.
So you form your relationships sometimes around those experiences. So yes, it could be.
The issue comes in when your spouse doesn't know about it. It's like if your child comes in the house crying and you say, what happened? And they say, I got a cut. And you said, where's the cut? And they refuse to show you where it is. Well, how can I help heal this cut or this wound if you don't show me where it is? Now, I may not be able to heal whatever happened to you in your childhood, but I know where not to touch you. because that's where you've been cut and that's where you've been wounded. So you do yourself and your spouse a disservice not to let them know your past hurts and issues, because they may be touching you in a place where you've been wounded. But I didn't know that. I don't know to put a Band-Aid here. I don't know to put a peroxide here or clean this, because you didn't tell me where you were hurt.
Absolutely.
So you do your spouse and yourself a disservice by not divulging that information.
Yep.
Now, all right, can we move on? We good?
Well, I was going to read something.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
He said there's no love in fear, and childhood trauma rises again. Definitely childhood.
Right.
Good analogy.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Very good analogy.
All right, we almost finished. Now, these next ones are obvious. Number 8, you're having an affair. Duh. Somebody put duh in the comments.
Having an affair. Duh.
Duh. Stepping outside of the marriage or relationship. Of course, if you do that, that's more than a warning sign. The car has shut down. The tire has flown off I-40 over to 540.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put duh. Yeah. If you've reached that point, that obviously there is some problems or some. That's more than a warning sign.
Absolutely.
Now, can you come back from that? I've known people.
Yep.
We've all known people that have. But I don't even want to put myself in a position where I gotta come back.
I want to
from
say
that.
car for sale.
Car is for sale. That's me too. As a matter of fact, you can come get it. It's free. Like how people leave furniture on the carport, come pick it up. It's yours.
And see, my thing with that is you don't ever know until you're in that situation.
And that's where we totally disagree.
I mean, like, you can say that, but until you're in that situation, you don't know that.
We disagree on that. Because there's certain
That's
things.
just my thing.
Yeah,
you know?
There's certain things that I know as a person. I ain't even talking about cheating. That I won't do or accept or
Come get her return to sender.
You return to sender. So we just disagree on that. I know for me, that would be a deal breaker.
I mean, LaWanda, I agree with it. I can say that all day. You can say that all day, but it's like, to me, I agree with it too, but I'm saying, like, I don't know until
it happens.
it happens, right?
Right.
So that's why I say that. You don't ever know. You can say, I do this, I do that. Like, people who don't have kids. That's a perfect example. People who don't have children. I would never do that with I'm not going to do that with my child. And when you have a child, what happens?
Yep.
Right? So you can't say that unless it happens to you. I'm just saying.
I think it depends.
That's just my opinion.
I think it depends on what it is.
Deal breakers. He said deal breakers. I mean,
some things are deal breakers.
Some things are. Some things are. Some things are.
Because that's,
and then you got to know your boundaries. You got to know your deal breaker.
Yeah.
Your non-negotiables.
Yeah. Your
non-negotiables.
That's
you have
right.
to know your non-negotiables.
That's right.
Okay, so you are having an affair. You said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I put, you stop pursuing your partner and you continuously think about somebody else.
Ooh, when you say pursuing, we talking sexually?
I'm just talking about you stop pursuing them. Like, girl,
Okay.
you look good. I mean,
Okay,
you know
okay.
But you go to the job and you tell so-and-so that they look good.
Your work husband
Oh, I
or
like.
work wife.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that too. Savanas doesn't like work wife, work husband. Oh, I wouldn't know nothing about it because I work with children all day.
Yeah, you are opening yourself up to some serious.
So how do y'all feel about that? The work wife, work husband? Because you know you have that. People say that all the time. It's like a culture now in the corporate world.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel? I know a couple right now that she did not leave her husband because she wanted to assure that her kids had a successful family. Girl, wait, did he cheat? That's all I want to know.
She said, I know a couple that's going through that.
Setup.
Yeah, it's a setup. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Wait, you got to add some more to that, Cheryl, because I need to know. Because I got a lot of, I got stuff to say about that because I went through that situation. So, I mean, it is a dangerous game.
It's a dangerous game.
Don't believe it. Yeah.
Don't play it.
He cheated.
He cheated.
After,
and she wanted to
Bless her
fix
heart.
it because she wanted the kids to have a successful family. Is that a successful family?
really? What's success to you?
Right.
Because kids are not dumb.
Right.
They know, they see. Right? So these kids today, they real smart.
Right.
So are you hurting your children more by staying in it? Right?
Right, because just because y'all stay together doesn't mean you still together.
Exactly.
You are together physically, but are you together emotionally?
Right.
Are you all still meeting each other's needs? Are you truly working to have a marriage? Or are you just married?
Somebody said, LaWanda said she knows someone as well stay for the security.
Oof.
That's
I
rough.
personally think you can do as the same amount of damage to your children as if you were to split up, personally.
Mm.
Because we know some people that can have a healthier relationship once they split.
Yep. Good point. Of course, you're not in the moment of being cheated on,
Right.
but you also have to set the standard on the boundaries to avoid. That's right. Okay,
Unthinkable happy.
I get
That's right.
it. Think. Then again, you can also set the boundaries and still stay
At times. Yeah. I guess it depends on the person, the individual.
Right.
Yeah, but back to that. Just because y'all still in the same house doesn't mean you have a successful family. That's another topic we talk. Cause you may be putting forth the image of a successful marriage. I'm gonna hold off on that because we
Right.
can talk about that.
Right.
You may be
I'm
putting
not-
forth the image, but is it real?
Yep.
I'm gonna leave that right
Is
there.
it real? That's the topic.
Yeah.
All right. You're emotionally relying on another person, and we got that's. I think this is the end. You're emotionally
Almost.
relying on another person.
Mm.
So I wrote my point. You always talking about your negative issues in your marriage with others instead of your spouse.
That's a no.
And others could be anybody. Others could be
Work, co-workers,
co-workers.
family.
I mean, we've been guilty. I mean, I'm gonna just say I've been guilty. I've been guilty, right?
I haven't. I can say I have not
Well,
done
not
that.
always talking. I'm saying like if I get mad at you, I'll be like, "Girl, let me tell you, da 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 da."
See, I don't do that.
Not all the time though.
Yeah.
I have. I said I have.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just being real. I have.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
Not saying that it's right.
Right.
I'm just saying I have.
Right.
Right.
And I haven't.
To get it off of my
Yeah,
chest.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, but this is a person that's always talking negative about their spouse all the time. Every time you turn around,
Mm-hmm. Right.
you're saying something like, "Dad, do you like him?" Right?
Right.
Or do you
Right.
like her? I mean, you married her. You left at some point.
My emotional where I deal with my emotions should never be I express myself in an emotional way more so to another person than I do her.
That's true.
You know, not now. Will there be moments when you do that? Like she said, absolutely. But it shouldn't always be my go-to person to express my emotions. Is him, sure, whatever, family, whatever. That's wrong.
Please don't. Do
Because
that.
you are. Let me tell you why it's wrong. And there are so many ways. But for me personally, this is why I don't think it's healthy. Because what if you're doing this with a person who's single? What if you're doing this with a person who's divorced, or a person who's having issues in their own relationship? What if you're doing this with a person who you are the only people or person they know that is married? You are painting a horrible picture of what marriage is and could be.
Yep.
You're giving them the blueprint of this is how marriage is and this is how it works, which is wrong.
Yep. I got another one for you. What if you're doing it with a person who wants your man or wants your woman?
You know what that's going to lead to.
It is real though.
It's real. You
It's
know what that's
real.
going to lead to.
Say the question about emotionally reliant. That was deep.
Yeah. Yes.
What was that question?
What we just said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Relying on another person.
relying on
That's a
another
dangerous
person.
thing if you're always doing it. That's what we're saying.
Yeah,
We're not saying if
always.
it's periodically. That's
Right.
not what we're saying. But every time you got a go-to person, what you married for?
Exactly.
What you married for? I don't get it.
Well, why did you get married?
Now the last one, is
A touchy topic.
a touchy topic and it's far from funny. The last one is if there is abuse,
Right. Of course.
physical,
Verbal just as bad.
Verbal, yeah. But if there's physical abuse, I'm not we're not experts. That's not what we claim to be. But if it has gotten to that level,
You need to seek some help. Some outside.
wait, seek the police first.
Yeah.
Seek a law enforcement officer first.
Yeah.
And I'm serious about that. To me, that's another deal breaker. You know, like, and to Keisha's point, it's easy to say that if you haven't been in it, but for me, that would be a deal breaker.
Yeah.
You keep your hands to yourself. You know, verbal too, but I'm dealing right now with the physical.
Carl said it's hard. Carl said it's hard when what you say to your spouse is dismissed. I guess we got to talk about.
What did you say that again?
It's hard when you say to your spouse, what you say to your spouse is dismissed.
Is dismissed. That's a lack of respect.
Emotional abuse.
Emotional abuse.
Emotional abuse.
Dealing with cars for you can disagree with me, but not be dismissive of me.
That's
Those are
the
two different things.
Absolutely.
We disagree all the time, but not be dismissive, because that's a lack of respect for me and her. That would be a lack of respect. So we don't have to always agree, and Lord knows we don't. But to be dismissive of a person leads into other things.
Yep. No, sure, I agree with that too. No, you shouldn't tell your family now.
Yeah.
And she said, I have to agree with your husband because your family won't forgive him. You're absolutely correct.
Right.
They will not.
Right.
Yes,
So,
they won't.
yeah.
They'll be looking at him all side-eyed or me.
Right. LaWanda said love shouldn't hurt
that way.
Right.
Yes. Emotional and sexual is the worst.
Abuse.
Yes.
Yes.
And physically too, though. You'll be surprised the amount of friends on our timeline that are currently in abusive relationships.
I would be surprised because I don't understand that.
No, I wouldn't be surprised because people can hide it very well, right? People can hide it very well.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised only because I was in that situation, right? So I would not be surprised.
Not with me.
No, not with him. No.
Make sure you put that out there.
No,
please.
not with him, of course.
Yes, not with me.
With him.
Yes.
But I was. So, and he always says, looking at me like, he's like, I can't believe, he can't see it.
Because of the person who she is now. But,
I mean, I was the same person too.
No.
In the beginning is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Right? So it changes you.
Right.
It changes you.
Leave. It's not going to change. Get help. I just can't see.
That's easy to say, and
Right.
I try to explain to him. Like he was like, I don't understand, but that's easier to say, right? So that's easier to say. But when you have been beaten down mentally and physically, like you actually lose strength, right? So I got out of it because somebody prayed for me. Seriously, they were like, "I'm gonna pray for you for strength," right? And I got out of it because then I start loving myself,
right.
and I start seeing myself,
right.
and I gain strength because it won't nobody but God. I'm telling y'all right now, right. I knew I was in an abusive relationship,
right.
Like you know it,
right.
Like nobody, you know it. Your friends know it. They see it. They tell you, girl.
Family.
But it's just like until you make up in your mind, like this is it. So
because you told me you left
happened.
several times.
I left.
Came back.
Oh my
right.
God! I packed my clothes so many times that I left several times.
Right.
But I swear to y'all, like 3:00 in the morning, one morning, I got up. It wasn't nobody but God. I'm telling y'all, and I left.
Just
like
he
that.
said, y'all sure I saw him duck a few times when you raised your hand.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Nah, ain't no but love over here, honey.
He said blink 2 times if you need help. No, that's why the person she is now, I couldn't see that person going through what she went through.
Absolutely. Right. Well, Cheryl was there. I think I knew Cheryl back then. Cheryl know listen. I have tried to help many women in that type of situation, but when they continue to go back, there is not a lot you can do but pray.
That's
all you can do. Because they go back. They go back. You know why? Because it's manipulative. Right? The person to manipulate you, and you are so worn down, right? So, and you feel like that you can't go on, or you can't make it by yourself, or it's a whole bunch of lies, right? So you have to be strong enough. You have to find that in you to get out of it.
And like you said,
right?
I guess I should ask, is it for some women that they don't know their true value to stay and put up with that?
Well, yeah, like going in, I was young. Like I was really, really
19.
young. Yeah, I was
younger than
way
that.
Before. Yeah, 19. I was 16 actually, starting, and then 19 when I actually got married. I think I got or something. I don't know, but anyway, so you have to realize, you be beat down so much. When I say beat down, I mean mentally, physically, whatever. Like when you start having your friends betting, like, oh, she going back. You know what I mean? They putting bets on you, like, oh, they get back together. That's a sad situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. Yeah, Cheryl said she was.
Yeah.
See, I knew Cheryl was.
Yeah. If you are in, and God, I pray no one on this live is going through that physical abuse, and you need help. We have a phone number here. It's the domestic violence hotline. That number is 1-800. Somebody put this in the chat if you don't mind. The domestic violence hotline is 1-800-799-7233. I'm going to say it again. This is the domestic violence hotline. Because some people go and watch our lives later on. Or some people watch and don't actually click on to let us know they're there, but they're watching. So even if that's you.
I can't put it in there.
Yeah, I'm going to put it. It is the domestic violence hotline. Y'all type that into the domestic violence hotline. 1-800-799, thank you, 7233. 833, where you can speak with trained professionals who can help you get out of that situation.
Get out.
Get out.
Get stronger.
All right. So we're almost done. You got something you about to say something? So if we've gone through all of these, but we got to leave you with some tips to help you turn this around if you are experiencing some of these warning signs. And the number one is what we hear anytime we talk with couples: work on your communication.
Yes.
That is like a
two-way street.
We beat that in there. It's like a beating a dead horse. But it is the key to successful or unsuccessful relationships.
Right. And communication means speaking, but also knowing when to speak or knowing what
How
to
to
say
speak.
and how
Yep.
to speak. And actually being an active listener.
Yes.
Right?
And we said this a couple months ago. The way you the way you give it is the way it's going to be perceived. So your perception determines, how it's going to be perceived. Don't say, "Oh, I'm sorry, dang." No, you ain't.
Exactly.
No, you're not.
But why you had to say it like that though?
Well, I sound like you when I said it. Oh, well,
I don't do that.
No, you don't. You ain't never done that. No, I just sounded like you.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so that work on your communication and be mindful of how your spouse communicates best. We said that 1,000 times.
You got to know when to go to them.
My wife is a talker, right? That means no topic is off limit. She can just ramble around. I'm a speaker. I'm more specific.
All right.
You know, that makes sense?
Yes, that does.
You know, some people communicate verbally, physically. Find the way that you communicate best. I've told this story 1,000 times. I won't tell it again. She used to email me stuff back in the days because she could communicate better that way. And I received it better that way. Because she would have all the thoughts in her head, but I just won't get in there.
Right.
So just find out
when you had a chance to read it and process it, then
Right.
Yep.
Right. All right. The next one is, I think we said this earlier, set boundaries.
Set boundaries.
Did we say that earlier?
Yeah.
We said something about setting boundaries earlier. So, for instance, this will be set. If we got an issue, the time to bring that up ain't when at the family reunion.
Oh, God,
or at Thanksgiving dinner.
Please do not do that.
You know. Set a boundary. How are we going to speak to each other? You know, how are we going to deal with this?
Right.
We're going to keep this in-house. This is our boundary. This is our issue. Or not even if it's an issue. Just something we're planning. Like, say you planning to start a business. We're going to keep this between us. Set boundaries like that in all aspects of your life.
That's where that trust come in, too.
Huh?
That's where that trust come in, too. Nikki said enter at agency as well for the domestic violence.
Who said that?
Nikki.
Okay, interact. Yeah, interact is real good. Yep. Something else, giving each other to have your own identities. Now, let me be transparent again. Once I figured out that this is just who she is playful. She is an extrovert. She talks. She loves to have a good time. I had to stop trying to make her me.
Exactly.
In the beginning of our relationship, I was trying to make a clone.
And that wasn't going to work.
And that was not going to work.
And we were clashing.
Yep. Absolutely. I had to let her be who she is. And it has benefited me tremendously.
And I had to let him be who he
I
is.
am.
If he go retreat for a little bit, it's okay.
Yeah.
I know that's
I'll be back.
He need his moment.
Yep.
Right? It's overwhelming.
Yep. Setting boundaries. No yelling at each other during arguments.
Right.
Respecting each other's quiet time. You know.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Here's the last one, which people don't like doing, but it's needed. Get counseling. Go see a therapist.
Yep. I'm not against that at all.
We're not against that.
Nope.
Go talk to somebody. Because they can be the middle piece to bridge you all together and bring you all and help you get over his issues and her issues. And maybe that professional can bring things out of you. We talked about past hurts that maybe you didn't know how to conjure up and let your spouse know. That's what the professionals are for. That's what
maybe you didn't know that you were.
Or maybe
you thought you was healed.
Right. There you go.
But you find out through therapy that no, I'm not quite healed. I'm still not quite there.
That's good. And then with therapy, it can give you ways to communicate. If you're not good at that, or if you didn't grow up seeing that, a therapist can be the middleman or woman to show you how to get your feelings across and your emotions and speak to your spouse in a way that they can comprehend. Not just hear you but comprehend what you're saying.
Right. LaWanda said it's taboo in our community.
It is. I was trying not to say that.
100%
Yep.
counseling.
Yep.
Talk to somebody because they can be, yes, the middle piece.
Yep.
Paul says, simply have consideration for your spouse above anyone else.
Anybody
that will solve
else.
a lot of your issues.
That'll solve a lot of your issues.
That's it.
God, spouse. If we can get that down pat, God, spouse, we'll be all right.
And then everything else will fall into
Everything
place.
else will fall into order.
Yep. So thank y'all. Thank y'all for
We
riding
are
with
talked
us.
out. We are. I don't know where the energy, where the Lord blessed us, because we haven't eaten a thing. We are
But we
starving.
still got 1,000 things to do.
We still
But
got 1,000 things
so
to do.
for those of you who we're going to see on Saturday, I'm ready to see you.
Where we gonna
I'm
see them at
excited.
Saturday?
We're going to see them at the Link Couples Brunch. Woo! I'm excited. I'm excited to meet the
Where
new
can they get
couples.
tickets?
You can get
Yes, we
tickets.
are.
You still are able to get tickets. We got a few spaces left, so you can get tickets on Eventbrite.
Mm-hmm.
You can look even on our page and click on the link to get your ticket. It's $80 per couple. That's not bad. $40. You know, you're gonna sit down in the restaurant. You're gonna drop that
Right.
anyways. So come have a good time.
We love you too, Carl.
We love you too. Meet other like-minded couples.
Thank you, Stephanie.
And just come have a good time. We good people. We
Right.
good people. We don't act like that, right? So and I don't want nobody around me acting like that.
Hey,
so,
Miss Sheila.
So just
Yeah.
come have a good time.
So thank y'all for joining us tonight. Those of you all,
Hey, Mr. Tony.
Hey, Mr. Those of you all who we will see on Saturday, like Keisha said, we can't wait.
Right.
Come ready to have a good time. Come ready to talk. Come ready to be competitive. Come ready to party. Come ready to eat. And get linked with some couples that you may not know.
Absolutely.
You know, like us. You may not know us.
Right.
We're going to have a good time. We got to have a good time. After what's been going on, there's nothing left to do but have a good
It's
time.
for somebody.
It's for somebody. Maybe it's
Right.
for us. I don't know.
Exactly. We'll be visiting in a couple weeks. Hate to miss it. That's all right. If you'll be visiting in a couple weeks, Paul, hit us up. Maybe we can go do lunch or something.
There you go.
Because we haven't seen you in a long time, but we miss you and we love you. Okay.
Kimberly, tell your husband his co-worker
said,
said
thanks for posting about this.
Huh?
Kimberly Crest said, tell your husband, his coworker said, thank you.
Okay. Okay, co-worker. I don't know who that is, but you're welcome.
Bet.
Yeah, Paul, get up. Yeah, when you get here.
Like inbox us or something, because I don't
Yeah.
even know if you got our new numbers or whatever. But well, no, it's still the same, Paul. When you help us move in here, okay?
Yes, Paul did. I don't know if we would have got in here without Paul.
Right. Oh, Dylan.
Oh, Dylan. Okay.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks,
Yep.
Dylan.
Gotcha.
So, okay, thank y'all. We love you all, and we'll see you Saturday.
We going
Bring
to
your
eat.
dancing shoes. Woo! Yes. Good night.